Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Drawing with Mr. Sepulveda. I'm Mr. Sepulveda, and on today's episode, we finally reached it. Episode 100, guys. I'm super excited about this. Didn't think we'd make it this far into the art journey here on YouTube, but here we are, guys. And I really wanted this episode to be something that I was extremely passionate about. And I'm really passionate about anime, and my favorite anime of all time has been One Piece. I kid you not, I've probably been watching that thing for over 20 years. And so I wanted to not just do a One Piece episode, but I wanted to do a reimagining, right? Or a redesigning, thinking as what if One Piece characters were dragons, right? And this got me thinking, and I was so excited because I did that FNAF Dragons episode where I did Toy Freddy, and that one came out really great with my new rendering style. And so I wanted to take 3 One Piece characters and give them the exact same treatment. I wanted to give them my best ability when it came to rendering my art piece. And so this first dragon character, I didn't have to think too hard about it. I was a big fan of Arlong. And if you guys watched the One Piece live action on Netflix, then maybe you guys think he was a pretty cool villain as well. But I really enjoyed him in the anime, and I really wanted to make sure that he was the first one that I drew, because I didn't want to stick with just characters from the Straw Hats. I do have a Straw Hat character on here, but he's my last one, and I'll kind of explain him in a little bit. But I really wanted to use Arlong. He's kind of fierce. He's already a fishman, right? He's a shark, and so transitioning or trying to draw a shark version of Arlong into a dragon version of Arlong. Oh man, did I have fun with it. And I wanted him to be kind of a sea serpenty type of dragon, but I didn't want it to look like my toy Freddy where it was super elongated, way too long. But I wanted to keep his proportions somewhat a little bit tighter. I definitely wanted to do a full body render for this one, and so I definitely managed to fit those in. I definitely fit in the dragon aspect. I definitely fit in the fish aspect, or the fishman aspect. And I thought this came out really well. Near the end of this drawing, you guys will see me try to do like a gradient background, but I honestly didn't feel it. And I didn't end up recording what I do to him afterwards, but I end up giving him a nice sea background that I had so much fun designing. And I really want you guys in the comments down below to let me know, like really let me know what you guys think about Arlong as a dragon. And I'll talk to you guys about my next character in just a moment. Yeah, guys, so that Arlong, I thought he was pretty awesome. I love the way that I rendered the water and kind of gave him an underwater scene for his lower half. For this next one, I kind of took him a little bit more up to the skies, although I will tell you this, I didn't give this dragon wings, which is kind of a missed opportunity, I think. And The next character that I decided to use from One Piece was Buggy the Clown. And again, he's an awesome main villain, I guess, in like one of the earlier series. He definitely did it really big for the live action. A lot of people enjoyed him, which was really cool. And I thought, like, with Buggy's like smile and his grin, I thought I definitely captured it with this dragon pose. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm going to be honest. I had a blast designing Buggy. The last picture that I did, so if I'm thinking real time, it took me about 4.5 hours, give or take, to do Arlong, because I was really trying to mess around with how I was going to render it, right? Again, I got my new rendering style now, right? And then trying to do the entire background with the water. So it took me about maybe 5 hours, give or take, right? 4.5, 5 hours. When it comes to Buggy from start to finish, it took me about 3 hours. I spent about an hour doing the sketching and line work, and then it took me another 2 hours just to kind of do coloring and texturing and rendering the entire piece. I had fun with Buggy's design. I wanted him to stand out, and so I wanted him to look a little bit more cartoonish, I guess, a little bit more devilish as well. So I kind of gave him a little bit of horns where his eyes are, like, so right where the brows kind of end is where the horns begin. I wanted to give him that blue hair that he's got. His cape that he wears was orange in like one of the earlier seasons, so I kind of made his skin orange. I definitely couldn't make this Buggy without the clown nose, so I made sure to incorporate that. Overall, I was really satisfied with the way that this Buggy character comes out. And again, I decided to put him a little bit more into the sky since I wanted it to be kind of a flying dragon, okay? Definitely want your thoughts at the end of this. I'll talk to you about my favorite piece that I did and my favorite character on One Piece in just a moment. Alright guys, so my favorite character in One Piece is Roronoa Zoro, my absolute favorite character. I liked him from the very beginning, but I really appreciated him more. And if you know anything about One Piece, it's that episode where he says nothing happens, where he takes all of the pain away from Luffy and puts it into himself. That's how you know he's like a really great right hand. Definitely the best first mate on the crew. And because Zoro is supposed to be Japanese, I wanted the dragon to be a Japanese dragon. and definitely resemble it heavily. I will say this, design-wise, I struggled a little bit because I used the symmetry tool to map out his face and the scales on his stomach, like down his belly. And I don't realize the issue until a little bit into this drawing. And so you'll see me kind of mess around with the belly because it's just not looking right at all. I had fun kind of giving Zoro more of a flow. I don't think I really hit too much of a flow with Arlong as a dragon or Buggy as a dragon, but I definitely feel like I hit the flow better on Zoro. I do a lot of the same new rendering styles that I've been doing. So normally I do cell shading, which is what you'll see me do throughout this entire piece as like my go-to. But then I end up going back into it and I start blurring out all the edges of my cell shading. Then I add a second layer of shadows. I add a layer of light. I blur the light. I add a little layer of white on top of it. So I do a whole bunch of different tricks to kind of get my Zoro going. This piece took me roughly 3.5 to 4 hours. But I had a lot of fun with him. Zoro is like one of the better characters. And if you notice that right there with what I did with the horns, it's a throwback to my FNAF toy Freddy as a dragon. I really liked the textural effects that it gave, and so I wanted to make sure that I incorporated it here on this dragon. And I think it really resembles Zoro, minus having him carry 3 swords, because I thought that would be ridiculous. Imagine the size of those swords if this dragon had it, right? I'll talk to you guys in the closing. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about my Roronoa Zoro as a dragon? Alright guys, if you enjoyed that episode, please go ahead and give it a like. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers here. And if you really did enjoy it, please consider checking out my What If playlist or my episodes playlist, where I end up doing art challenges, redesigning student drawings, or working with superheroes and supervillains, okay? Next week, I will actually be doing 3 redraws of student artwork. 1 student from my out school, where I teach online, and 2 other former students that I had last year. So as always, guys, I'll see you next Tuesday for a regularly scheduled video. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.